Have you ever heard the story of the great Lord and his 5 magnificent rings? Each one shimmered with its own unique power. A fiery red, a deep violet, a blazing orange, a mysterious indigo, and a brilliant yellow. These weren't just pretty trinkets. They were the very source of his authority, the reason he was the undisputed lord of the manor. But one day, our Lord was feeling a bit lazy. He figured, why bother wearing all 5? So he casually tossed 3 of them on the floor as decorations and popped off to the loo. This, my friends, was a massive mistake. While he was away, 3 sneaky robbers broke in. Spotting the rings just lying there, they couldn't believe their luck and snatched them right off the floor. When the Lord returned, he was beyond furious. His precious, powerful rings were gone. Without a moment's hesitation, he charged into the forest just outside his manor, absolutely determined to hunt down those thieves. He searched day and night, his rage fueling his every step. Finally, he found them. A fierce battle erupted, and the Lord, driven by pure fury, fought with all his might and won. He was overjoyed to have his rings back. But the commotion had attracted a family who was just out for a peaceful stroll. Seeing the fight, they did what any sensible person would do. They called the police. When the police arrived, they arrested everyone involved, the Lord and the robbers alike. They confiscated the rings for evidence, but then something truly strange happened. The moment the police touched the rings, all their magic transferred over to them. And just like that, the police became the new lords of the manor. The original lord was devastated. First, he'd lost his rings to robbers, and now he had lost his entire home. So, he hatched a plan. While the new police lords were out exploring their new domain, the original lord started talking to the guards watching his cell. He spun them a tale of betrayal, of stolen power, and promised them great rewards if they helped him reclaim what was rightfully his. And it worked. The guards, loyal to their true lord, turned on the police. They set up an ambush and successfully recovered all 5 rings. The Lord was ecstatic. He was finally going to be lord of the manor again. But there was one huge, catastrophic problem. In the middle of the scuffle, the main ring, the one that held the ultimate power, had broken. Without it, he could never be the true lord. Desperate, he turned to his loyal guards for help. "Fix this ring," he commanded, but they refused. "No way." They protested. "We're guards, not jewelers." But the Lord could be incredibly persuasive, and the guards, wanting to please their leader, reluctantly agreed to give it a shot. Their quest was epic. It took them to the mouth of an active volcano to collect a special kind of lava. Then, they journeyed to a remote tropical beach to gather leaves from a sacred palm tree. With all the exotic materials assembled, they miraculously managed to forge a new, even more powerful ring. The Lord was giddy with excitement. Finally, everything would be back to normal. But just as he was about to slip the new ring onto his finger, the police burst in. Having tasted that immense power, they wanted it back. They claimed they needed to run experiments on the new ring to ensure it was safe, and snatched it away to their secret lab. But the Lord was one step ahead. Secretly, he had followed them. Just as the lead police officer was about to put the ring on his own finger, the Lord lunged forward and knocked it from his hand. "Don't wear it," the Lord shouted. But the officer didn't listen. Blinded by greed, he grabbed the ring back. "No!" cried the Lord. "You can only wear that ring when you have the other 4 on too." The officer ignored him and slid the ring onto his finger. It was a terrible, terrible mistake. Instantly, the officer started doing a wild, uncontrollable Irish jig. He danced and danced and danced until he collapsed from pure exhaustion. This was the Lord's chance. He took back his ring and traveled far away, all the way to a little hut on a deserted beach in Indonesia. He placed the powerful ring in a circle he drew in the sand and lay down beside it. As he drifted off to sleep, a strange dream began. It was a story about a little green goblin who crafted the most beautiful wedding rings. A man named Rick had come to him, ordering 6 rings to marry his 5 wives. But after the weddings, Rick took 4 of the rings back and, in a secret science lab, transformed them into 5 powerful rings. Just like the Lord's. When the goblin found out his beautiful wedding rings had been corrupted, he was enraged. He threw Rick into goblin jail. In the dream, Rick's wives were heartbroken. Suddenly, the Lord woke up with a start. He knew what he had to do. He traveled all the way to Calabria to find this green goblin. When he finally arrived, he had to speak in the old tongue, the only language the ancient goblins understood, to tell his tale and seek the goblin's wisdom. The Lord asked, "What happened to the rings?" "They used to be beautiful wedding rings," the goblin replied. "Someone took all of them and turned them into powerful rings." The goblin then gave him some advice. "Go to Malaysia. You'll find someone called Gandalf." The Lord was confused. "Who's that?" he asked. "It's someone who spins," was the goblin's very confusing answer. So the Lord ventured to Malaysia to find this mysterious Gandalf. Whoa, what kind of place is this? He wondered as he stepped onto the humid shores. It was hot and he wanted to find Gandalf straight away to solve this mystery. The goblin said he spins, the Lord muttered to himself. What on earth does that mean? Thinking Gandalf might be a spider that spins webs, the Lord ventured towards some nearby caves. To his surprise, he found a person named Gandalf and asked him, "Do you spin?" Gandalf looked at the Lord quizzically and replied, "Of course I don't. That's just silly." "But the goblin told me you did," lamented the Lord. "Well, little one," said Gandalf, "I don't." The Lord suddenly remembered something important. "Sorry, Gandalf," he said. "I need to get back to my manor. My guards have been lonely for far too long and will be missing me. I can't leave them alone any longer." The Lord bid Gandalf adieu and went straight back to his manor. Upon arriving home, he sought out his guards, who were indeed very bored without him. They were overjoyed to see him back and eagerly asked, "What shall we do, my lord?" "Let's hunt for the golden ring," said the Lord. "Oh, we found a golden ring while you were gone," the guards told him. "That's wonderful," said the Lord. "It's bedtime now, so let's go to sleep." They all returned to the manor, but the guards grumbled. "That's so boring." The Lord then suggested, "Let's Carapio." The guards had never heard of this before and asked, "What on earth is that?" "It's a chant of destiny," the Lord explained. "It's used on special occasions, so perhaps we shouldn't do it now. Let's just sleep." But the guards were not happy with this. They had been alone for so long and wanted to spend time with their Lord on a mission, just like in the old days. So one of the guards suggested, "Shall we make a movie? You can choose the characters and direct us, my lord." The Lord loved this idea. The thought of directing his guards in a movie made him incredibly excited. So the Lord started casting his characters. "Bilbo," he said to guard number 1. "You're Dracula." Bilbo thought this was super cool and couldn't wait to play a vampire. "Tom," the Lord said to guard 2, "you're a taxi driver." Tom was happy with this, as his uncle was a taxi driver, so he knew all about the job. "Adrian," he told guard 3, "you're the passenger in the taxi." This worked for Adrian, who was the laziest guard and was quite happy to just sit. "Fred," he turned to guard 4, "you're a coffee shop owner." Fred thought that was an excellent idea, as he'd recently bought a new coffee machine and loved using it. "Freya," he turned to guard 5, "you're the customer in the coffee shop." This was perfect for Freya, as she loved drinking coffee. "And I'll be the narrator," the Lord told his guards. Then they got to acting and recording their big blockbuster movie. They had so much fun that they were all genuinely tired after all the excitement and hard work. And so, finally, they all went to bed. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this wild tale, don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more stories. See you next time.